Welcome everybody from another episode of Tallybook Troubleshooting, coming to you from the Permian Basin International Oil Show. It has been a terrific show so far, depending on where you are. I'm told about locations and stuff. We're going to discuss that a little bit later. So a big shout out to the Wireline Group for sponsoring the podcast party that I'm so blessed to be a part of. I'm your host, Keith Stelter, trying to bring a little bit of technical knowledge, a little bit of good PR to the oil industry. Having a blast while doing it. So it was amazing for Stacy Jones to ask me to do this, and I'm having a great time while doing it. Very blessed to be joined from two gentlemen from the Milford Company,
yes.
right? I was going to say group, but I didn't think maybe that was correct. I got Lance and Michael from the Milford Group. I'm going to let them introduce themselves so that you can get the proper name for their LinkedIn profiles. Everybody's got to be on LinkedIn these days, I'm guessing.
That's right.
You guys take all connections?
Yes.
Perfect. It's all about networking, who you know, not what you know these days. Well, a little bit maybe about what you know, right? Lance, why don't you give us a little bit of an introduction?
Yeah, thanks, Keith. So I'm Lance Medrano. I'm the Regional Sales Director with Milford, based here in the Permian Basin. I cover everything from Big Spring to Carlsbad, New Mexico, and everything in between, pipe, valves, fittings, and pipeline construction. And to my left, this is Mike Harris.
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm Michael Harris with Milford Companies. I run the Mid-Con, Eagle Ford regions. I'm kind of managed Louisiana, Kansas, South Texas, San Antonio primarily to the border, and then all of Oklahoma.
Perfect. That sounds like a great little area. I myself lived in Mustang, Oklahoma.
I live in Yukon.
Oh, I love it. Just down the road. Great part of the state. Where do you call home, Lance?
I live in Stanton.
Excellent.
So right outside of Midland. Moved there a couple years ago.
How do you
lived
like
in
it?
Midland. Loved it now. Slower pace of living.
Oh, the people are great, especially
Yes.
out here in West Texas.
Absolutely.
Now that I got my family out here, it's been, I don't know, terrific. It's the people are great. I know that somebody might say the scenery's not always the nicest. We had a lot of rain this year, so it was extra green during the summers. But can't beat all this great industry and experience and work that we got, opportunity. If you're not working in the Permian Basin, man, it's it's one of the biggest places in the world right now. Would you
That's
agree?
right. I would agree.
Perfect. Tell us a little bit about Milford.
Yeah, so founded in 1972. We're in the pipe, valve, and fitting market, pipeline construction, focused on HDPE products, so high density polyethylene pipe and fittings. We also carry valves, diffusion machines that are required to put that pipe together, and then we can also provide turnkey pipeline construction for any of our customers. So not only can we sell you the material, but we can also put it in the ground. Michael covers some specific things that we're doing, but in a nutshell, we're a pipe, valve, and fitting supplier for the Permian, and really nationally. We get requests all across the United States to ship pipe from West Texas all the way up to North Dakota.
Are you guys international as well?
We're not international. No, we're just domestically based in the United States.
Perfect. What else has Milford got on? Any big wins recently? Here?
Well, I mean, we're always having some very competitive bids that we win. The market's really competitive right now, but it seems to be relationship and service really helps us. That's what we focus on. We're really key on making sure our customers get a value for what they purchase, but they actually get some help and some technical data back up.
Providing solutions,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, we're an infrastructure solution. That's what we like to pride ourselves on.
With the increase in prices right now, we see the industry is recovering. Do you see the correlation with the increase in activity as well?
Yes, I thought it would ramp up faster as the index raised, the pricing index raised. But to be quite honest with you, I'm happy with the pace because we've been able to supply that key service. Sometimes when you get too busy and it hits you too hard full front, you're not able to give them the service because you're spread thin.
Are you guys
both now?
Planning for a busier 2022?
Yes, we are. We're ramping up.
It's on the forecast. We're ramping up now. We want to make sure we have the material that our customers are purchasing in our yards, working with our vendors to make sure that we're providing adequate lead times to our customers. We're staying innovative. want to get out in front of these issues, the supply chain issues that are currently happening in the market.
Well, that's interesting. What are you doing to try and address some of the, it's all over the news, supply chain issues. What are some of the things you guys are doing? Is it just ordering more than you think you need earlier?
Absolutely.
What is there any other?
I think
things you're doing?
our executive team was really crucial thinking. They did some really hard thinking, looking and forecasting, and they allowed us to go out and spend some money when other people weren't spending money, and we got some inventory, and then we managed that inventory properly.
Having it on the shelf right now is going to be a huge advantage over anybody
And
right now. They're gonna
everybody
wanna
needs to know we have it on the shelf.
Perfect.
We do.
All over the U.S.
We work in 5 locations.
What
And,
are those 5 locations? Let everybody
San
know.
Antonio, Cartier, Oklahoma, which manages all the Mid-Con. We have the Permian, Hobbs, and we have a Garden City.
Yeah, we have our pipeline construction office is in Garden City, Texas, and then we have a stocking location in Midland, Texas, and then also in Hobbs.
Okay.
So with the ability to transfer material between all those locations at the drop of a hat. So.
Yeah.
Excellent. What about one thing that's come up here on the show and during the show, other interviews, manpower.
Sure.
Well, how are you guys dealing with manpower? Are you guys fully staffed? Are you having trouble finding people? What situation you guys find yourself in?
Sure. I think, just like everybody else, we've had our struggle with trying to bring people on, but we stay ahead of the game. We try to, if we identify that we're going to need somebody, we try to get proactive in that. But we face the same struggles, just like I mentioned, like everybody else. There's a time where you think you have enough people and you don't.
Right.
You may get an order or some opportunities that might come out of left field, and you realize you may need 1 or 2 more bodies. But the good thing about us and Milford team, we work together. So
exactly.
There's no boundaries. Hobbs doesn't compete against Midland, and Midland doesn't compete against Oklahoma or San Antonio. So if we need something from those branches, or we need some help, we need somebody we can transfer, we can work together and either move people around or move product or whatever it may be.
True essence of the name of the Milford companies.
Yep.
We share resources, whether it's inventory or people. People are sometimes is your strongest resource.
Sure.
In saying that, just as a guy that's worked at some bigger companies as well, what's your number one thing, maybe in a little nutshell, might be a little bit too complicated, to keep that inner competition down so that you do have that teamwork? You know what I mean? There's sometimes a inner dynamic where one guy's holding back just because he wants to make sure instead of helping. You're laughing? I know you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Well, Mike's nickname is Sandbagger for a reason. So
Perfect.
that's it in a nutshell. But we break those walls down. Mike and I have worked together for 7 years, and if he needs my help, I'm there. And vice versa.
It sounds like you guys got a great communication and dynamic going on, so it's probably definitely got to be the key there.
But it does, and it's infectious throughout our sales team, our operations team. We've really taken the time over the last 5 to 6 years to put people in place that can identify that we're part of the bigger picture. At the end of the day, we're Milford. We're not Midland. We're not Hobbs. We're not Oklahoma. We're not South Texas. We're Milford, and so.
But I tell you, it's not just our level. I've worked some bigger companies, being older, and it's our management team. I mean, when it was time to get their hands dirty, they did. Whether it's driving a forklift, or when I say management, our executive level team, where you don't see that a lot, And when times were tough, they helped us, and it held the bond. Now that we're kind of prospered,
Perfect.
People see that, they know that if it gets time to get nitty gritty, everybody in the company will do it.
Awesome. Sounds like a great team. Sounds like we got a great future. Say a couple words. We're at the Permian Basin International Oil Show. What do you think of the attendance so far? Did it meet your expectations? Down, low? What were you expecting, especially something coming out of COVID here?
Yeah, I think it's great that we got back together to do this show. We missed it last year. This is a huge thing for us. We really look forward to this show. 3 years ago was a huge turnout for us, and we're looking for that again this year. Didn't quite see it yesterday, but I think today's a new day. It's beautiful weather outside. We know that the traffic's here. We hear about the people being shuttled in, from parking lots across town. So we know that people are here, so we're going to get some people out there and drive them into the booth.
Perfect. Sounds great. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having us, Keith.
Permian Basin International Oil Show. If you haven't come yet, come check it out. And everybody, that's how you troubleshoot.